Sanders bouncing around at the 5. Averaging over 21 yards per return. He has returned a punt this year for a touchdown. The Eagles riding a 3-game winning streak. Ruzick, a high kick, comes to Sanders at the 10. Here comes Dion across the 20 and tackled at the 26-yard line. Tackled by Kenny Jackson, and Chris Miller in a bit of a slump. He's thrown 7 interceptions the last 2 games. He is the quarterback for the Falcons, and the rest of the offensive unit for Atlanta will go this way. Ken, Hoover, Dukes, Freilich, Hinton on the offensive line, along with Gary Wilkins in his 5th year out of Georgia Tech, the tight end. Keith Jones and Steve Broussard start in the backfield with Miller. Andre Rison and Michael Haynes are his receivers. Split backfield on 1st and 10 for Atlanta. Jones on the first carry. Near the 30-yard line, a 3-yard gain. And Tim Brant, let's go through the defense for the Philadelphia Eagles today.
Well, the Eagles have been playing strong defense. If you saw Monday night against the Redskins, you know these guys right here, White, Golick, Brown, and Simmons, will apply the pressure up front and make it a lot easier for Joyner, Evans, and Small. The secondary, Smith moves over to cornerback. Allen, Hopkins will be in there as well as Andres Waters.
Ben Smith has a few followers here today. He's a rookie from Georgia, and he got 55 tickets for this game. Family members and friends coming up from Warner Robins, Georgia. 2nd and 6. They go to the red gun formation, and Miller drops back into the shotgun. Miller completes, and oh, what a hit. Put on Floyd Dixon by Izell Jenkins. Floyd Dixon held on for a short gain. It'll set up 3rd and a little more than 2 yards.
They're going to go with 4, 5, and 6 defensive backs all afternoon. Here comes Jenkins up. As soon as he turns, that's the perfect place you want a receiver. He doesn't see you coming. As soon as he turns, you've got the leverage on him and all the momentum behind you. It's a great hit by Jenkins.
Jenkins suffered an ankle injury last month, and that necessitated the change in the secondary, moving Smith over to a starting corner spot and Wes Hopkins at free safety. Shotgun time, red gun as they call it here, 3rd and 2 for Atlanta. Going long. The catch is made. Michael Haynes. Haynes lifts it clean. 54 yards. Finally, Andre Waters tackled him.
They fly him down the right sideline. It's a go pattern. They puts it up and lets him run under. Haynes got away with a push right there. Misread a little bit because it looked as if Ben Smith was going to try for the pick. Once he committed, Haynes fell behind him. There's the push. There's Smith, goes up for the pick, and then Haynes comes underneath and makes the reception. Nobody touches him. Get up. He can still run. He does. And Atlanta's in great shape.
Haynes has had a fractured hand. He's been working with the last month and looked great on that one. Broussard gets the carry on 1st down, and the rookie from Washington State's inside of the 5.
Broussard trails only Johnny Johnson of the Cardinals as the best rookie runner with 400 yards. He leads his team obviously in rushing with those 404 yards a carry. You mentioned Haynes with that fracture. He wore a small cast on the fractured hand last week. Does not have that small cast on today, but it is heavily taped under the glove.
Talk about coming out of the locker room aggressively. That's the Jerry Glanville way, and the advantage for the Falcons in the 1st. But look at the 2nd. Down 60 in that department. Ready to take the opening kick and opening drive in. It's 2nd and 4. Jones on the carry. Only a yard. Tackled by Jesse Small.
Well-designed play, though. They sent Broussard like he was going to go on the sweep, and Jones came back underneath. They tried to get Philadelphia going one way and break into the crease against the pursuit.
Keith Jones, second year from Illinois. Starting in the backfield today with Steve Broussard. The Falcons 3-1 this year at home. They continue to be woeful on the road. 15 straight road losses for the Falcon franchise. But needing a victory today, they still entertain thoughts of a wild card berth. Third down play. Broussard leans the football forward. And the crowd wants him to go for it. They're about a yard shy.
Here comes Broussard. You see the outside pressure. They shut it down, force it back inside, and the linebackers fill. Broussard's 5'7", 201-pounder. First-round draft pick. He's been playing with a sore knee.
That ball almost popped loose. Mike Golick made the tackle. It's 4th and a yard to go. Well, we'll call it a long yard, maybe 2. Lining up in the eye. They pitch it to Broussard, and he is stuffed. Philadelphia defense. Brent Hager and Seth Joyner combine to drop Broussard for a 3-yard loss. So Atlanta drives it, gets a big 54-yard play, but comes up empty.
In short, Atlanta goes for it, but look at the goal line stance here now by the Eagles. Here they come, and Seth Joyner, watch him fill over the top and just push him back, number 59. Great fill. What they did is they put Golick outside and put Reggie White right in the middle, and there he is. Well, you stuff him in the middle, you're not going to move that offensive line, get that push that you need on short yardage.
Cunningham and company. First snap of the day for the Eagles offense. And it's Heath Sherman. Second year back from Texas A&I. And Randall, that 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. 16 TDs, 8 INTs. And let's check the rest of the Eagles offense.
Heller, Colley moves in, starts because Mike Shadd hurt his shoulder the other night. Alexander Solt out of the University of Maryland. Singletary, great story there, and Keith Jackson. The backfield, they'll move Byers all over the place. They'll put him in 4 different positions, and Sherman, of course, the big story in the backfield.
2nd and 7. Sherman makes a move and drives near the first. I believe he has it. Heath Sherman carried the football 35 times Monday night against the Washington Redskins for 124 yards. Now the Atlanta defense shapes up this way. Gann, Epps, and Green on the front. Linebacking core, Lyles picked up recently from the Houston Oilers. Jesse Tuggle, he'll be in on a lot of tackles. Rady and Connor. And in the secondary, Demery and Dion are the corners, and Case and Jordan are the 2 safeties.
You know what's interesting, Jim? The Eagles rank 2nd in the NFL in rushing, and the Falcons are 5th against the run. So you would think that'd be the major confrontation, and with their secondary, the Falcons secondary being last against the pass, you think the Eagles will come out throwing, but they want to establish the run, break down that Atlanta defense. If they do that, they think they can throw all day.
It's a 5-yard face mask penalty on the back end of that. So first down for the Eagles. Sherman, 3rd carry in a row. Really fascinated by Heath Sherman and what he's been able to do here the last 2 weeks for the Eagles offense.
You know, his back-to-back 100-yard gains are the first time that's happened with the Eagles since Wilbert Montgomery did it back in 1981. But you got to laugh. Buddy Ryan's telling us the other day, he says, hey, anybody can get that kind of yardage when you give the ball 35 times. I'm not sure that happens. Heath Sherman finds holes that aren't there.
2nd and 10 is actually an illegal use of hands against the Atlanta defense. They picked up an extra 5 for Philadelphia 2 plays ago. Sherman, the single back. Flags are down as he runs into Tim Green and Jesse Tuggle. Offsides against the Falcons. I'm sure they'll take it.
Offside defense, 5 yards, first down.
When you're playing against a defense that is as aggressive as Atlanta, you want to keep them disciplined. You want them to take away that charge, and you do that with long counts and unrhythmic cadence, and that's exactly what Cunningham did that time. Came with an unrhythmic cadence, made it a little bit longer, forced Atlanta to be disciplined, and they jumped.
Hearing rhythmic cadence. That sounds like something that belongs to Manili Vanilli. 1st and 5 for Philadelphia. Keith Jackson in motion, play action time, and Randall going long. Looking long and knocked down. Knocked down by Bobby Butler. Brian Jordan helping out. Pass intended for Mickey Schuler.
Outstanding play by Jordan, a strong safety. He came over, was reading it all the way. They're in a combination defense, and you see Jordan, number 40, coming across and reading it. He forgets the man right now. He is no longer a factor. You play the ball. Now you're the receiver, and he almost had the pick. They're 28th in the league in pass defense, but they've been coming on the last couple of games. Matter of fact, 3 interceptions in the last 3 games.
3rd down and 5. Out of the backfield. That's now 50 straight games Keith Byers has caught a pass. He's the leading receiver for running backs in the NFL.
Well, you know, Buddy Ryan likes, Jim, multi-purpose guys, and that's the guy right there. He is as heavy as he is at 240 pounds, runs a 4.5 40. They'll move him around at running back, fullback, tight end, the slot. They'll put him in motion. They'll split him wide. That's exactly what Buddy Ryan likes as an athlete.
Byers threw a touchdown Monday night against Washington, his 3rd career touchdown pass. 1st down for Philadelphia on its first possession of the day. Heath Sherman hit head on by Mike Gann after taking the handoff. Short gain on that play. Made a change this week at Atlanta. Jerry Glanville and the Falcons said they'd had enough, and they waived Marcus Cotton, the linebacker. And I think it sent a message to the rest of this team, Tim, especially Andre Bruce.
Well, what a lot of folks don't know is Andre Bruce and Marcus Cotton have the same agent. So that right away the agent says we're going to move Bruce out of there too. He probably won't be here next year. But I think if anything, it's kind of juiced him. It's gotten him a little bit better. He's been more aggressive in practice.
2nd down and 9 after a 1-yard gain by Sherman. Pass all the way, and Randall misfires to Keith Byers. Bumped by Brian Jordan as he reached out for it. Byers with 15 rushes this year and now 46 receptions.
Never fails, though, does it? We start talking about him, saying how versatile he is, how valuable he is to the team, and we jinx him. Comes right out, drops that. He leads all NFL backs with those receptions.
Buddy Ryan and the Eagles facing 3rd and 9 from their own 38-yard line. Scoreless here early in the game. Out of the shotgun. Cunningham zips it. Incomplete. That was a catchable pass. Obviously should have been caught by Keith Jackson.
That's an outstanding read by Cunningham, too. A little pushing and shoving going on right now. Cunningham is the guy that jumps in between there. He'll mix it up with you, too. But Cunningham makes a great read here. Sees Atlanta is in a zone coverage. Finds the right guy in the hook area. It's his tight end, Jackson, and Jackson should have made the catch. Boy, you don't see him drop many like that.
Back-to-back drops for the Eagles, and now they'll have to punt. Feagles for the Eagles. Punts it. Deion Sanders will return it. From the 15, he's got a man all over him right away. It's William Frizzell on the special teams tackle. 46-yard punt by Feagles. We're scoreless here in the 1st quarter. Nance and Tim Brant from Atlanta Fulton County Stadium here in the 1st quarter. Each team has had the football one time. Hey, they've got an honorary captain today for the Falcons. Jerry Glanville brought in Evander Holyfield, the heavyweight champ, greeting the Falcons. And I tell you, that's one thing he's really instilled here at Atlanta is special teams play that really is special.
You know, Holyfield was supposed to be here at 11:45, didn't get here until the teams were out on the field. He went out, took a bow, came back in.
I think Jerry would have liked to have suited him up today. 1st and 10, Atlanta. 4-receiver formation, its own 16. Across the middle, almost intercepted. Pass was intended for Michael Haynes, and Seth Joyner had it bounce off his hands.
Boy, did he get a break. He put that ball right out there to Joyner. This is Joyner's birthday today, and he didn't get a present there. Miller tried to give it to him. He just couldn't hold on to it. Found him in a basic zone and threw right into Joyner.
Think the fans here have been a little hard on Chris Miller the last 2 weeks?
Well, he's thrown 15 touchdowns, 11 interceptions after going 110 straight without a pick. He's had 7 interceptions, as you mentioned, in the last 2 games, so I don't think they've been too hard. Matter of fact, he's been on the road, so he comes back now. They've been very receptive.
3 of those interceptions in the 4th quarter against the Bears last week in a 30-24 loss. 2nd and 10 running play with Broussard. Gains about 4. The Bruiser, as they know the rookie. 20th pick in the 1st round last spring. And that was actually Mike Rozier. Mike Rozier, who was waived by the Houston Oilers and picked up by his old coach, Jerry Glanville.
Both Atlanta running backs are banged up. Broussard with a sore knee, Rozier with the sore ribs.
Tracy Johnson is the single back flanking Chris Miller. 3rd and 6 for the Falcons, scoreless here in the 1st quarter. There's a completion and a fumble recovered by Andre Waters. James Milling had the catch, and Andre Waters the recovery at the 40-yard line of Atlanta.
Six defensive backs in the ball game now. They go to the spread red gun. That makes everybody thin. You've got one-on-one coverage across the middle, and the man comes clear. Milling has the opening, but look at the hit that comes in from Andre Waters. Just shakes it loose, and then Waters comes back and gets there quicker than Millings does and makes the recovery.
Did he have full possession? It looked like he was bobbling it for a moment, Tim.
Well, you know, he's got to have it long enough to be able to do something with it. They're going to take another look at it.
I thought he was struggling with it in stride.
The hit came almost simultaneously with the catch, plus he was bobbling the ball. Watch Milling now. There's the ball. He doesn't have it in his hands right now. You see it bouncing around? Now, whether he has possession, once he turns his back, you'll get a better view from this angle. Watch the lower portion of your screen now as Miller comes along, or Millings rather, and he never did have possession of that football long enough to make a football move with it.
One guy out of Maryland defending another. James Milling of the Terrapins.
Big win yesterday for the Terrapins, beating University of Virginia.
I don't know if that is clear evidence, though, for the gentleman up in the replay booth.
That last angle wasn't bad, though. You could see him juggling the football. Thing is it conclusive? We'll find that out right here.
George Sladke is the replay official today. Jerry Austin and his crew wait.
Lower right hand of your screen. He's bobbling it. Now he pulls it in, and whether he has it long enough before Waters makes the hit is going to be discussed in the replay booth. Is now, and I'm not sure that is conclusive. I don't think he had it long enough, but it's not necessarily conclusive.
Buddy Ryan was hiding behind the down marker, and the man dressed in black, Jerry Glanville. Well, let's check another angle. This is the play-by-play angle for you, as we call it. Frizzell, number 33, in behind him, and then you see Waters come in and knock it loose and pounce on it.
I mean, we both have our opinions. I still don't think he had it long enough to be called a fumble, but it's not conclusive. You can't go on opinions. You have to go with the replay. Remember the 2-minute rule? We're already past that. Crowd doesn't like it either.
John Keck to the left is on headset. They continue to wait. Is it enough evidence to overrule the reception and then the fumble recovery?
They're still flipping the coin. See Milling, he's on the phone to the replay guys.
He's already changing his reservation home. He knows this is going to be a long one today.
After review of instant replay, the pass is ruled by instant replay as being incomplete.
How about that? How about that? There's the reversal, so it is a strong opinion. They thought it was conclusive, and the offense for Atlanta will come back out.
With it being an incompletion, it still will be 4th down, however. And they'll be punting, will Atlanta, with Scott Fulhaig.
Coin came up heads.
Scott Fulhaig averaging 42 yards a punt and a long of 59. He has not had one blocked this year. Edwards is the return man, recently signed by Philadelphia. His 2nd year from New Mexico Highlands. So they overrule. Instead of having the football at the 38 of the Falcons, Philadelphia will have to rely on its punt return coverage. Punt return team, I should say. Edwards from his 32. Flag is down, and he's hammered by Tracy Johnson at the 40. That was a 48-yard punt. Again, we have a flag back near the line of scrimmage.
Wait for the flag, but if the play stands and it stays right there, what happened is they made at least 20 yards on the reversal of the instant replay.
The Falcons did.
Exactly.
After the punt, holding number 48 of the return team, 10 yards, 1st down.
Now the Falcons made 30 yards.
5 minutes and change remaining in the 1st quarter. A scoreless one to this point. Philadelphia and Washington would both qualify as wild card teams. They are tied for the 2 wild card spots with 5 and 4 records.
If it comes down to just those 2 for 1 wild card spot, though, right now the Redskins have the advantage.
1st and 10 from their own 23 after the penalty. Eagles run it with Heath Sherman and gains only a yard. Now, the rest of the way, look at the next 3 weeks, especially for Philadelphia.
Well, one of the major concerns for the Eagles was looking past the Falcons and to the Giants. And then they come back in Buffalo and Miami. You're right.
Both of those teams are 8-1 on the year. We asked Buddy about those other 2 teams, Buffalo and Miami. He said, we don't worry too much about those AFC teams.
He did say that.
Although they did lose this year to the Colts in the 2nd week. 2nd down and 9. Fake to Sherman. Here comes a rush. Cunningham runs it to the 30-yard line. Tackle by Jesse Tuggle. We all know how Cunningham can run with the football once he tucks it under.
Well, and Atlanta's had problems with quarterbacks that scramble, too. The Bears quarterback scrambled for 59 of their 100 total yards last week in busted plays, and there's no question about Cunningham being the best at that. He averages over 7 yards a carry, and when that opens up and he can see the screen and feel the opening, he takes it immediately. No hesitation at all.
Once again leads the team in rushing. 3rd and 3 for Philadelphia. Scoreless here in the 1st quarter. Coming after Randall. Pump fake and a sack for the Falcon defense.
We told you what a week Andre Bruce had in practice. He comes in now and gets his 4th sack of the year. Watch Andre Bruce. His agent's talking about not being here next year. They said he had a great practice week. Look at this. Gets the bead on Cunningham and just goes after him. Sack number 4 for Mr. Bruce. 3rd-year player out of Auburn.
And a loss of 10, knocking the Eagles back to their 19. Punting time with Deion Sanders on the return for the Falcons. Jeff Feagles to punt. Driving Sanders back to his 28. He stumbles and will not get any return yards at all. That was 54 yards on the punt by Feagles. We'll be right back. Now at the Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, sold out for Philadelphia and Atlanta. Jim Nance along with Tim Brant as we near the end of the 1st quarter. Scoreless to this point. And Tim, on Friday we'll be in Norman, Oklahoma for Nebraska against the Sooners.
One of the all-time great Big 8 rivalries. Nebraska, the Huskers and the Sooners doing battle down in Norman.
2:30 Eastern time. We'll get it underway Friday on CBS Sports. We hope you'll join us on that classic rivalry. 1st and 10 for the Falcons. Here comes Miller. Hitting Haynes for a good gain.
They just get stronger, don't they?
Just waiting for December the 3rd against San Francisco at Candlestick, it seems. Second and 2. Across the 40. That's a first down for Atlanta.
Philadelphia's defense has been the strength of its club all year. 62 sacks last year. They came on this year a little bit slow, but they're coming on now. Monday night, I think, was the most dominant and intimidating defensive performance since the Bears in '85-86. Here's Jeff Fisher, the defensive coordinator. Put in some new blitz packages, really helped this club pick up the pace. He's put in a hunt and confront mentality.
4 receiver formation. Broussard the single back on first down. The Bruiser picks up 11 and a first down once again. Tackled by Ben Smith.
Boy, he is impressive. Look at him roll. 201 yards. He's a short guy, so he can hide behind the big lineman, play hide and seek back there. Saw that they had already dropped down into a zone, came back underneath. Watch this. Over pursuing. He cuts back against the pursuit and gets the first down. Boy, if a defense is aggressive and it's running to the football, you can always cut back into the creases and the seams.
1:20 to go in the first quarter. Scoreless to this point. Movement on the left side. Movement for sure. Looked like Mike Keene.
Start, number 78 of the offense. 5 yards. It's still first down.
Yeah, it was Ken. Watch him. He got a little bit anxious up here. Right side of your screen. Bingo. Boom. Throw the flag right now. How about Simmons? Simmons came out of the blocks. As soon as there was a flinch, he was gone, jumping. That'll get the flag out every time.
If you're just joining us on the opening drive of the game, Atlanta got within the 5-yard line of the Eagles and ended up going for it on 4th and 2 and came up empty. 1st and 15 for the Falcons. Fake to Jones, now throwing, rolling, and connecting at the 40. That's the tight end, Gary Wilkins. Gain of 13.
They used the rolling pocket. They took this one right in the face of Reggie White and then threw behind him. Reggie White, there's Seth Joyner, 59, but White was coming hard on the corner. They rolled the pocket his way, put it back on White, and threw right into the flats.
Miller.
If your line protection is not doing as well as you would like it to do, then you can move your quarterback around and you take the pressure off of him. Take the angles away from the defense.
Miller comes over early to talk with Glanville as the first quarter expires with the score. Philadelphia 0, Atlanta 0. A scoreless first quarter in Atlanta. Jim Nance along with Tim Brant. This is not quite the pace you expected it to be, Tim.
Talked to Jeff Fisher, defensive coordinator for the Eagles, down on the field before I came back up to the booth. He says this game's going to be wild. 39-38 maybe, something like that. Doesn't look like it's going to get there right now. Philadelphia in that first quarter, Jim, 111 total yards. Atlanta just 19.
2nd and 2. Falcons are driving to start the second quarter. Up the Philadelphia 40. Mike Rozier trying to spin free. Cannot get away from Joyner. A loss of a yard. This is a guy who's a real leader on this defense. Joyner, he's had one stretch where he was 3 straight weeks voted the defensive player of the week by the Philadelphia coaches.
Well, he leads the team in tackles too. He's having his best year as a pro. He's got 3 sacks. Understands the defensive scheme a lot better than he has in his previous 4 years.
will drop back to the shotgun on 3rd and 4 for Atlanta. 4-receiver formation. Red gun time. Lofting it. Horizon and inside of the 20. A gain of 23 to Andre Rison.
Jimmy's working on William Frizzell. Now the Eagles are bringing the whole package. They're bringing everybody on the blitz. You see them coming. See Evans 56. They're all coming out. They're selling out on this. So it's one-on-one coverage back here. And Frizzell gets lost in that coverage. And Rison just runs into the sidelines and carries it out. Great read. Perfect throw by Miller. He threw it before the break.
Tell you, Keith Jones did a good job of picking up Joyner on the blitz. That's now 56 catches on the year for Rison, second in the league to Jerry Rice.
Philly's blitzed more in the last 3 weeks than I can remember.
Broussard in motion on 1st down from the 16. Same kind of pass, incomplete for Haynes. And a flag down. A flag on Eric Allen.
You know why? He never looked back for the football.
Interference, number 21 of the defense. 1st and goal at the 1.
All right, now they're throwing the timing pattern to Haynes. Now watch. Allen will go and never looks back for the football. He sees Haynes' eyes, sees him going for the catch. He just comes up and face guards him right in his face, blocks him out. That'll get you a flag every time. You've got to look back and play the football. He never had any intention of playing the football. He thought the pass was there already when Haynes went up.
Clearly the correct call, and it's 1st and goal from the 2 for the Falcons. Johnson in the backfield along with Rozier. Tracy Johnson trying to run behind Chris Hinton, and the rest of that offensive line gets only a yard. Johnson scored his first NFL touchdown last week against the Bears. Second-year player from Clemson, who was a rookie last year, played for Glanville at the Houston Oilers.
I'll tell you this, though, you won't find many teams that play better goal line defense than Philadelphia does. Now, there have been some injuries on a defensive line. They've changed things a little bit. Mike Pitts went down with a knee. Golick became a starter. But they play extremely well, and they shut Atlanta down on the other side on 4th and short.
You were looking at co-captain Jerome Brown, 2nd and goal from the 1. Here comes Small. Miller gets away from Jesse, but Reggie White he will not avoid. All the way back to the 14, a 13-yard sack by the sack specialist, Reggie White.
Reggie White is too smart to come back and circle him. He leads his team in sacks. This will be number 10 for the year. He's the defender of the defensive line. There is a flag down, but look at the speed of Reggie.
This is to the goal. 1st down.
A defensive holding penalty against Philadelphia will wipe out the sack and move the ball inside of the 1. And that'll give him an automatic first and goal from the 1. So the big play denied. And Atlanta lines up in the I. Rozier is the tailback. And he is chopped under short of the goal line.
Just watch the line play of the Eagles. They're getting penetration. They're forcing the issue, and the linebackers are filling quickly. Watch the surge of the Eagles now. They want to get low. They want to stop the surge right there. Now let the linebackers fill. That's great defensive line play.
Atlanta has had problems, as you saw in the graphic, in the last 2 weeks. 14 possessions inside the 35 and only 2 touchdowns. They've already been denied 1 time inside of the 5. That was Jerome Brown on that last tackle. 2nd and goal. And again, Jerome Brown. The ball pops loose on the tail end of it, but Rozier did not fumble until he was officially ruled down.
Looks like Waters may be shaken up, but again, what they do is they have guys running to the football constantly. Boom, make the first hit. Now you've got to get pursuit, or he's going to surge ahead and break that plane. You've got one guy's not going to do it in goal line defense. You need 2, 3, 4 guys to get in there and bang it up. It was Hopkins who was down, not Waters, and he's up now and seems to be okay.
Golick and Byron Evans helped out along with Jerome Brown. Timeout called by Atlanta. Facing 3rd and goal from the 1 with 10:46 to go in the second quarter. Still scoreless. The game's first score. They'll face 3rd and goal from the 1. This will be the 5th play of the day inside of the 2 for Atlanta. That's what Philadelphia has been able to come up with, stopping them. But on this drive, 9 plays, and it's taken up half of a quarter. 7 minutes, 27 seconds.
Atlanta has not been able to run the ball in. You would suspect that they'd pass. That immediately means Rising and Haynes. But something they don't do often is go to Wilkins. So a great play would be just to play action and go to your tight end.
Tracy Johnson is the single back. 4 receivers from the 1.
They don't even have a tight end in the game.
Johnson, touchdown, Falcons.
They decided to spread them out, go with the red gun down here, the formation that'll make you thin in the middle. That's what it always seems to do. And here comes Tracy Johnson. He started last week, scored his first NFL touchdown, comes back today and gets his second. Only had 6 carries coming into this ball game.
Fulhaig will hold for Greg Davis. Davis now 29 for 29 on the year. 7-0 Atlanta here in the second quarter. Touchdown by Johnson. Nothing Atlanta. Greg Davis kicks away to the Eagles. Big kick. All the way back into the end zone. A touchback. And they'll start it at their own 20. Thomas Sanders wisely electing not to run it out. Spoke of Chris Miller's mishaps the last couple of weeks. Randall Cunningham threw 5 interceptions the first 2 games of this season, but has thrown only 3 in the last 7 games since that time. Look at him fake and bootleg now. Deion Sanders drives him down after a 7-yard gain, and it's update time as we return you to New York. Take it away, Greg Gumbel.
All right, Jim, at RFK Stadium, here's how the Redskins have grabbed the lead against the Saints. 8-yard touchdown pass, Mark Rippon to Gary Clark in the second quarter. It's a 3-point Washington lead. Jim?
All right, Greg, here it's Atlanta 7, Philadelphia nothing. Falcons scoring just a moment ago by a 1-yard run by Tracy Johnson. Second, we'll call it 2 for Philadelphia. Keith Sherman. Boy, someone had a hand on him, but he was able to use his strength and drive for the first across the 30. Got away from John Rady. And a 4-yard gain for Heath Sherman.
Talked about his back-to-back 100-yard games. Everybody saw him Monday night, and they're saying, hey, where'd this guy Heath Sherman come from? Well, he's out of Texas A&I. But the reason he got the play is because Anthony Toney had been slow by a groin pull, sat out 2 games, and Sherman got the start.
First down play. Keith Byers gets a rare carry, and look at him go. High stepping it. Keith Byers into Atlanta territory at the 47-yard line. A gain of 21 for Byers.
Here he is using that 240-pound low center of gravity. Watch, once he gets through the main surge here, busts into the secondary, knows he's open, so he stretches out and now looks for the open area. Runs away from Jordan, who finally pulls him down from behind. Jordan's only 200 pounds. Here comes a guy, Byers, 240 pounds. He's going to drag him an extra 5. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4 more yards after Jordan makes the contact.
It's the first time the Eagles have been in Atlanta territory. Byers now coming to the lower portion of your screen in motion. First down. Caught by Barnett, leaning near the first. Bobby Butler had a hold of him. Arkansas Fred, as Buddy Ryan calls him, rookie from Arkansas State. Actually, that was Charles Dimry on the coverage.
Dimry has excellent coverage too, but now he doesn't know the ball's coming. He just kind of freezes. Almost looked like he was waiting for the stop and go pattern, and he just holds on. That's great extra effort to get the first, or close to the first. It'll be a second and about an inch.
Second and less than a yard. Myers again. And a first down for Philadelphia. Seven nothing Atlanta here in the second quarter. Trying to put a halt to the Eagles' 3-game win streak. Not a good sign. The Eagles, all 5 victories this year. Philadelphia scored first. But here it was Atlanta tallying points for the first time. First down play. Incomplete. Jackson again mishandles it. Scott Case on the coverage.
John Rady with a big hit to knock it loose, though, too. That big time play in the secondary.
Everyone knows Keith Jackson held out throughout the camp and early in the season, and he felt like 2 weeks ago in a game against New England, he was starting to get in sync. He caught 2 touchdowns against the Patriots. Getting accustomed to the new offensive coordinator, Rich Kotite. Second and 10. Go on for it all. Over Sanders, touchdown, Philadelphia. Fred Barnett, but a flag is down.
It's going to be against Philadelphia.
Number 69, the left guard was in motion, 5 yards, repeat second down.
Talking about Bruce Collie, you'll see that he moves, he goes into motion, and they'll throw the flag on that every time. He wasn't set. Looked like he pulled his hand up and then tried to get reset and didn't have that 1 second to do it.
So now it'll be second and 15. Take away the touchdown to Fred Barnett, who had beaten Dion on the play. Flings it, caught by Byers, but only a 5-yard gain and a jarring hit by Jordan.
Here's the hit. He got a good clear out by Williams. Calvin Williams went the stretch. He went the go route. Now watch, Byers just stops out in the flat. As soon as the secondary sees that, boom, here it comes again. Jordan, that's the second big hit he's had this afternoon. We saw him dragged by Byers once, but now he comes back, and he is really good at getting a receiver when he's not looking.
That is, by the way, the second time Barnett has had a touchdown taken away, second time in 2 weeks. I'm sorry, the second time in 4 weeks for Barnett.
You know, Barnett was originally projected to replace a tight end on third downs. They found out he had great speed, moved him outside.
The call on the field was a completed pass. The receiver was forced out of bounds. Therefore, a replay is not in the play.
So count the 5-yard completion to Byers. It's 3rd and 10 for Philadelphia.
I didn't think there was any question about it.
4 receivers in the game, 3 of them to the right. Flags are down, and the ball was whistled down. Everyone moved, and I saw one official wave off the play.
See 56 right here, that's Darian Connor. He comes across. It's whistled dead right now. Flags fly. He comes in and gets a shot on Cunningham anyway.
Start, number 68, 5 yards, still third down.
Look at Connor now, comes up and apologizes. Said, hey, I never heard the whistle. I didn't know the play was dead. Goes up and apologizes to Cunningham.
And it's called against Reggie Singletary on the offensive line for the Eagles. 3rd and 15 from the 41 of Atlanta. Coming off of Monday night, the Eagles unable to score to this point, trailing 7-0. Gets away from Connor. Now flings it toward the end zone for Barnett. Incomplete. Great attempt, though.
Connor would love to have this one back. You're seeing the escapability of Cunningham. Connor just came up too high. You've got to lower it going between the 1 and the 2 on his back. But Cunningham felt it, threw off balance, and put the ball right there. This was almost a great catch by Barnett. This is Connor again. That's the second play in a row he's gotten a hand on. The first one was a free shot. This one he misses. It counts.
So the Philadelphia drive dissolves, and they'll punt here on 4th. Deion Sanders lets it go. Frizzell makes the play at the goal line to prevent it from going in. Great play by William Frizzell. And that'll down it at the 1-yard line.
.5:42 remaining in the first half. Atlanta leads 7-0, but now the Falcons will be backed up. Look at this play by William Frizzell. Special team coverage. Sanders let it go. Frizzell came along the goal line and just knocked it down. So now the Falcons find themselves backed up against their own goal line. Great play by Frizzell.
Miller drove him the last time for a touchdown, the lone scorer in this game. Movement again. Boy, you can't back him up much more. Chris Hinton got started too early. Jim Nance along with Tim Brant from Fulton County Stadium. We're in the Olympic city of Atlanta, and the Falcons lead at 7-0. 3-6 on the year are the Falcons. And a win today would actually move them within 1 game of the second wild card berth. Second wild card spot. First down and 11 out of the end zone. Miller throws it up high. Not chased down. A good defensive play by Eric Allen.
Sure was. Allen used the sideline and kept him pinned there the entire time. Just stayed in his hip pocket and ran with him.
Michael Haynes was the intended receiver.
See how he's got him pinned between the sidelines, keep their inside out leverage, run in his hip pocket and just knock it down. Haynes never had a shot. Miller now 5 for 8, 104 yards. It's a dangerous pass to throw that deep when you're backed up like this out of your own end zone.
Second down and 11. Miller quickly calls for the time. That leaves Atlanta with only 1 here in the second quarter. Falcons lead it 7-0. Atlanta Falcons, Tracy Johnson with the game's only touchdown here in the final 5 minutes of the second quarter. Total offense edge to the Falcons, and Miller's 5 for 8 to this point, over 100 yards.
Philadelphia only had 19 yards total offense after the first period. And they've contained Cunningham. They're pinching the outside and bringing the linebackers, and it's been fairly successful thus far.
Dangerous spot here, obviously. 2nd and 11. Lined up in the eye. Keith Jones squirming his way for 2. Not the shootout that we had expected. The Falcons, allowing 28 points a game this year, have shut out the Eagles to this point. In fact, the fewest points they allowed in any one game this year was against Cincinnati, a 38-17 Atlanta victory. Only 2 times, in fact, have they held the opponent under 20. Now, as far as high-scoring teams on the offensive side, Atlanta's 2, Philadelphia's 4. 3rd and 9. They'll snap it back out of the shotgun into the end zone. Miller from there. Sideline route incomplete. intended for Sean Collins. Again, guarded closely by Eric Allen.
Allen used the same technique. It just doesn't get any better than this. Look, you just use that sideline as your ally, just stay in his hip pocket. Again, Allen is right there, perfect coverage. He's a Pro Bowler, led the NFC, 8 interceptions last year, doesn't have any this year. And mainly because they throw away from him. You see the coverage is just outstanding.
Scott Fulhaig from the back of the end zone to punt to Anthony Edwards. Watch out for the Eagles coming. Good punt to Edwards, back to the 45. Fumbles the football, scooped up by Atlanta. Atlanta football at its own 44. Recovered by Shelley. And Anthony Edwards had it stripped loose. Brady had it for a moment. And Elbert Shelley, just activated, picks it up.
See, we can talk about all these guys that are coming now in black jerseys, the downfield coverage of the special teams, but that play was made by Fulhaig. Punting out of his own end zone, shortened his steps because the pressure was coming from the Eagles, got a great punt out, high hang time of 4.4 seconds, and let everybody come underneath and get down there and cover it. So Fulhaig gets credit for that.
Hand off to Broussard. Runs into that line. They're not running on him, are they? Jerome Brown stuffs him for a no-gainer. Not surprised about these special teams from Atlanta coming up with the turnover. Look at the year.
Absolutely.
3 block punts. 2 other times they tackled the punter behind the line of scrimmage.
You know, the Falcons hadn't had a block since 1984. Atlanta's special teams have been special. Deion Sanders is always dangerous as a return man. He's taken one back the distance, 79 yards this year. So they're getting the coverage, they're getting the pressure, and they're getting the returns.
How much does Jerry Glanville appreciate him? He had the special teams players introduced today instead of the offense or defense. 2nd and 9, and leaping into the air is Haynes. Coverage by Smith. Crowd wanted some interference.
Contact down here got the crowd excited, but see, this time there's looking back. Remember the pass interference call earlier? Never look for the football. Allen did. This time Ben Smith is looking back. So now you can have all the contact you want if you're legitimately going for the football. You've got as much right to it as the receiver does. Just play the ball. You can bump and grind all you want.
Ben Smith, the rookie from Georgia. Badly bruised right hand, could not even shake hands yesterday when some of our CBS Sports personnel visited with him.
It's all right. He doesn't want to shake hands with any of these guys anyway.
3rd and 9, and Miller going down deep, underthrowing his target, Rison. Frizzell on the coverage.
Looks like Rison may be shaking up a little bit, slow to get up.
Fulhaig will return.
He got some dirt in his eye. See, Rison right now has located the ball. He knows it's underthrown, so he's trying to come back and get it. Crowd again wanted pass interference. They're not going to get it, and the reason is because Frizzell also had looked back for the football.
Anthony Edwards stays in there. He fumbled the last return just a moment ago. Atlanta does not cash in. Fulhaig, a big high punt, not very short, not very deep actually, but a favorable bounce. Down it at the 21. Down it by Shelley, who just made the recovery. 34 yards in all on the punt by Fulhaig. And a chance to tell you about our lineup coming up later this week. Thanksgiving Day, the NFL today starts it off 3:30 Eastern time. The crew will be in Dallas, where the Cowboys will host the Redskins. Redskins and the Cowboys. Some of your Thanksgiving fare on CBS Sports. 1st and 10 with Barnett in motion. Good fake by Cunningham. Hits Byers in the flat. gain for the Eagles. Out of bounds at the 46 of the Falcons. 33 yards on that play.
Somebody just missed an assignment because he came back on the left side and there's absolutely nobody there. All right, the play action goes to the right side. You see all the black jerseys go that way. Now you've also lost your contain and there's absolutely nobody on Byers. Somebody has to pick him up on that side. Broken assignment. He takes it all the way up across midfield into the 41-yard line, 46-yard line.
Scott Case stayed with him, didn't he? All the way out the sidelines. It's the longest reception of the year for Keith Byers, 33 yards. Sets him up first down. Another good fake by Cunningham. Flings it. Good catch this time by Jackson. And he is ridden out of bounds by Scott Case. 27 yards this time.
Philadelphia found a weakness. They're going to go back to it again. The play action to the right side, the bootleg to the left, and then you just drag Jackson underneath the coverage, and then here comes old Scott Case again, and this time he takes a ride on the back of Keith Jackson.
And we're at the 2-minute warning. Philadelphia driving, trying to tie up the game. It's 7-0 Falcons. Comment that Buddy Ryan had before the game to you. What did he say? This is a game for men only today?
No sissies allowed.
No sissies allowed.
So I came back up to the booth. Hey, you know, the last two plays gained 60 yards. Prior to that, they had only 68 yards total offense.
First down, reverse. Here they come with Calvin Williams. Randall out in front, throws a block. Williams tightrope. And is he in? No, they say, just inches shy. Wait till you see the block by Randall Cunningham.
Jim, this is the third time now they've used misdirection. Atlanta is so aggressive. They're pursuing the football right now, but they're overrunning everything, and nobody is staying home. Boy, Connor just ran himself out of the play. Then you get the missed tackle here by Jordan. Then he starts tight roping and he tries to get in and doesn't quite make it. But what they're doing is they're using the asset that Atlanta has, the aggressiveness, and they're coming back and they're letting the Atlanta folks run out of the play. Look at him just tight rope down the way. Calvin Williams almost got in. Cunningham says he runs routes as well as Jerry Rice. He walks that tightrope about as good as anybody in the circus.
Like he was walking the balance beam like Olga Corbett. I thought he was in.
Except she got a 10. He came up a yard short. He got 9.
He dismounted at the 1. And Cunningham and the Eagles will talk about it here with 1:51 left in the second quarter. Randall doing it all, throwing, running, blocking, but unable to get the team on the board up to this point.
See Coach Kotite over there telling Cunningham what to do, but boy, they have really gone against that pursuit and come back to the backside. There's nobody home.
Tony and Sherman in the backfield. Byers in motion. Little flip pass, touchdown to Keith Jackson.
Randall Cunningham now has thrown a touchdown in 9 straight games. Again, they use a lot of motion. Watch this. Cunningham looks at the defense. They send the motion. That squeezes the linebackers over. Then they go play action, so the linebackers come up. And there's your tight end sitting there all by himself, Keith Jackson.
4-play drive covering 79 yards. And Ruzek ties it at 7.
Had 68 total yards prior to that drive. In that one drive, they pick up 78.
This game is presented by authority of the National Football League, and this CBS telecast is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the expressed written consent of CBS, the Atlanta Falcons, and the National Football League is prohibited. It was a nice touchdown play, but I'll remember this one for a while. Cunningham throwing a block on Case. Calvin Williams getting away from Jordan. And then trying to stay balanced and going out at the 1 to set up the score to Keith Jackson. Had a long pass play to Byers. Only took him 4 plays to cover the distance.
We've seen Barnett, we've seen Williams. Now, you know, the Eagles lost Mike Quick last year in the final 10 games with surgery to both knees. And speed at wide receiver was needed badly. So Ryan goes out, gets 4 speed guys in the draft. 3 of those guys make the club. Bellamy, Barnett, and Williams. He's back in business.
Dion here at the 5. Clapping, waiting for a chance to run one back. Jones is on his right. From the goal line, here comes Dion. To the 29-yard line. Greg and Terry coming up at halftime with scores and highlights and information from around the league. Similar story today for the Giants, who just keep on winning, pounding the Lions in that one.
Miller's got 140 to work with here, and he's missed his last 4 passes, so he's not in rhythm, he's not in sync. See how he goes to the hurry-up offense.
Falcons have only 1 timeout left here in the second. Broussard is to the right of Miller. Sometimes they snap it to the other back. And is open out there, incomplete. Rison, I think, got a little bit lost with the football.
Well, he tried to turn around. He was looking over his outside shoulder, came back inside. At the last second, saw the safety closing on him, so he just kind of backed off. Crowd didn't like that, but I don't think he could have caught it anyway.
How do you spend your off day if you're an NFL quarterback and you've had a bad 4th quarter against the Bears?
Same way we do.
I haven't had the sticks out in a while, but Chris Miller played up at the Honors Club in Chattanooga, Tennessee on Monday and shot an 82.
Pretty good this time of year.
Any time of the year. 2nd and 10. Rison across the middle. Jenkins and Waters came in there. He came in flying. 14 yards on the completion. Football at the 43, so the Falcons have a chance to do something here.
Rison's 2nd catch of the game. He's 2nd in the NFL, now has 57. They like to go to him in clutch situations.
Here he is again. Just a 2-yard gain for Rison.
Falcons still have plenty of time, though. 1:03 remaining in the half. They still have that 1 timeout you talked about. They're moving the ball effectively. Just have to maintain their composures. Don't make any bad decisions here. You want to at least get 3 points out of it. Touchdown if you can, but a minute 3 is an awful lot of time.
Second down and 8. Haynes and Milling to the right. Collins and Rison to the left. Now Milling will join him. Jerome Brown gets credit for the tackle at the 50. It'll set up 3rd and about 3, and the Falcons in a hurry up now call a timeout. Call a timeout with 50 seconds remaining before the intermission. Game is deadlocked at 7. On the year coming in, a victory would give them 1 more win than they had all of 1989 when they were 3-13. And now Glanville, in his first year as the coach, has them still thinking about making the playoffs this year. Their schedule is certainly favorable the rest of the way. After today, they do not play a team with a winning record in the final 6 games of the regular season.
And 7 games here in Atlanta. And they've been strong at home, as you mentioned.
3rd and 3. Right at midfield. First down to Rison. Jenkins tackles him at the 36, a gain of 14. No timeouts left for Atlanta. None at all.
Clock continues to move. You're down to 35 seconds now. You want to get up. You want to get a clock play or make a play count, but you've got to stop it.
Looking left. Now to the right. Just firing it out of bounds to stop the clock. .23 seconds remaining. Greg Davis, the place kicker, has a long this year of 51 yards. However, a career long of 52. From this point of the field, it would be about a 53-yarder. No timeouts left for Atlanta. Tied at 7. 23 seconds to go in the second quarter.
Still have at least 2 plays here to work before you have to worry about the kicker. You still want to push it down as much as you can.
Going to Haynes. Overthrows him at the goal line.
Philadelphia's bringing the package. They're selling out. They're coming on the blitz, so Miller puts it up quickly. Haynes has the step, but because Miller had to release it so fast, he overthrows it. But Haynes had him working on young Ben Smith, and he lost a step early on. It's a great read and almost a fine throw by Miller.
17 seconds left in the half. Third down play coming up. No timeouts for Atlanta. Sideline route incomplete. Haynes never looked around, and short of him was Risen. So now it's 4th down, and Davis will try a mammoth field goal attempt.
Well, they used the 2 plays that I talked about. Tried to push it downfield, couldn't get it anymore, so now Davis comes on. They still could take a chance and try one more play, but instead Glanville says, hey, no, we won't chance it and run the clock out. Let's go ahead and at least get the 3 out of it.
Guy Bingham will snap it to Fulhay. This is 53 yards, a new career long if he makes it. Plenty of leg, and yes, 53 yards and a field goal for Atlanta. To spare, I might add. The second longest field goal in Atlanta history and the longest of Davis's career.
He knows it's straight enough. He wasn't as sure as you were about the distance. He could have gotten maybe another 2 or 3 yards out of it max. But it was a great kick.
I thought he had at least 5 yards to spare. Jim McMahon on the sidelines for the Eagles. They trail now 10-7. And only seconds remaining. 8 seconds remaining in the first half. Greg and Terry coming up at the intermission with scores and highlights. Later today, many of you will be seeing the Chicago Bears against the Denver Broncos.
Special teams for Atlanta continue to get the job done.
Thomas Sanders returns for Philadelphia. Thomas Sanders backs it up, drops to a knee, bring out the offense for at least 1 snap before the half. From the 20.
You know, the coaches for Philadelphia think Thomas Sanders could be the best of the bunch back there in that running back when you consider Anthony Toney and Heath Sherman and Roger Vick and those guys. Coaches say, hey, Thomas Sanders down the stretch could be the best of the bunch, but he's still learning the system, hasn't gotten it yet. He doesn't have all the reads down yet. Rich Kotite, we talked about earlier, he's the guy that made those adjustments in the last series to counter the over pursuit of Atlanta, and it worked to perfection.
Calvin Williams drops back to the 13 as a protection. for this snap that brings us to the half. That's the end of the first half with the score. The Atlanta Falcons 10 and the Philadelphia Eagles 7. And Randall Cunningham on offense today has rushed for 13 yards, passed for 85.
Total offense, Atlanta has the advantage. Most of that's come through the air, 134 yards passing, and that's with Miller being 8 for 18. Now, if he gets hot, they can light him up. Time of possession also goes to Atlanta. Big thing with Philadelphia is they had that big drive late in the second period.
Greg Davis boots it to start the second half. Thomas Sanders from the 3. Sanders across the 30. That's a good run, or actually right to the 30. You spoke of him in the second quarter. Recently acquired Thomas Sanders after being cut loose by the Chicago Bears.
Jim, we talk about how the Atlanta defense had done so well in that first half. You know, they held Philadelphia to 68 total yards in that first period and then came back, and in one drive Philadelphia got 78. So other than one drive, they've played outstandingly today.
Looks like Scott Case momentarily shaken up. Now bouncing back. And he'll come out now in the first play of the second half.
It's going to be critical to get him back into ball game, get him healed up quickly. He calls the defensive signals for the secondary. And that is extremely important when you're facing that guy.
Randall Cunningham, his numbers, the touchdown pass to Keith Jackson. Elbert Shelley is in to replace Case here on 1st and 10 out of the secondary for Atlanta. Throwing on Deion Sanders, intended for Fred Barnett. Deion was right there.
Boy, Atlanta just loaded up that time. They put 8 guys up front. They only left 1 guy in the secondary. All these guys up here in the box now, and there's only 1 guy deep. And the reason for that is because they're man coverage outside, and then they've got Brian Jordan there, number 40, in the back. And then when they came outside, great coverage on the corner by Sanders. But they loaded up, went 8 men up front. So right away, Cunningham goes to the 3-step drop, tries to go against man coverage, and there's Sanders with a big play. 2nd down and 10. Fake to Sherman, rolling now. Randall will run it. Tim Green brings him down at the 35, maybe the 36-yard line. Big play by Timmy Green, Jim, and he's the guy that just came in for Scott Case. So he's got added responsibility of calling the defensive signals, reads this, sees the naked reverse by Cunningham, which was so effective, and he chases it down from behind.
Sets up 3rd and 4 for Philadelphia. Tim Green coming on him. Green sacks him. Back-to-back plays for Timmy Green.
That's 4 sacks now for Green. Got Gordon comes in the secondary. You got Green up front. Green now just defeats his man. Quick swim move to the outside and traces down Cunningham from behind. That's 4 sacks on the year for the 5th-year guy out of Syracuse.
Former Rhodes Scholar nominee from Syracuse, where he carried a 3.8 grade point average. Beagles, booming punt. Fair catch called by Deion Sanders. I don't know why, all the way back at the 20. And he salutes the crowd as they boo him. They didn't like the fair catch after a 54-yard punt. Coming up next, most of you will see Chicago against Denver in our doubleheader game. All of you, in fact, except for the folks in the Atlanta area, will get the Bears against the Broncos. Crowd quite irked at Deion Sanders for the fair catch.
Well, they must not have had the return on. They loaded up front, and I think what happens is if they send everybody up, he doesn't have any blockers back there, but he didn't anticipate the long punt.
second half for Chris Miller. He's got a man out there. Andre Rison can't hold on at midfield. I thought Andre had it.
Going to tell you something. Ben Smith is a player too. We've seen him locked on all afternoon on either Rison or Haynes. Here he is now. He's just a first-round pick out of Georgia, and he is right there, step for step with him. Ball was a little bit underthrown. Rison may have gotten out in front, but that's a great play by Ben Smith. He was a regular free safety, plays safety, cornerback, inside guy. They'll move him around a little bit in the nickel too.
2nd and 10 for the Falcons. They bring back the 4 receiver formation. Broussard, the single back. Broussard cutting back to the middle, getting about 7, maybe 8 yards. Frizzell on the tackle.
Somehow they've got to get Miller back in rhythm. He's hit 3 of his last 12 passes, so he's been out of sync. They've got to get him back in there.
Broussard comes out. 23 yards rushing on the day. The rookie from Washington State. Third and 3. They collapse in on Miller and bring him down. Clyde Simmons on the bottom of the stack, and Cecil Gray, the rookie from North Carolina, as well. A loss of 6.
Clyde Simmons had an Achilles problems. That slowed him down a little bit, but watch number 96 just force his guy back inside. Reggie White, 92, on the left side. They push in, and they just collapse down on Miller. Good push by both guys.
Full Haig to punt. Atlanta leading 10-7 here early in the 3rd quarter. Edwards, fair catch called, makes it at the 30. 12 minutes, 3 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. That was a 47-yard punt. Jerry Glanville told us this week that his team was down after the loss to Chicago because they thought they'd played hard enough to win in that game at Soldier Field. Exchange of punts, the 2nd time with the football in the 3rd quarter. Philadelphia from its own 31. Keith Sherman running low for only a yard. Again, he had 35 rushes last week. Keith Sherman. That's his 7th carry of the day right there. Like to welcome everyone to the Atlanta-Philadelphia game early in the 3rd quarter. Eagles down a field goal. 2nd and 9 play. They complete it to Barnett. Barnett is tackled by Charles Dimry. A scoreless 1st quarter here at Fulton County Stadium, but in the 2nd, Tracy Johnson scored first for the Falcons. Back came Cunningham and the Eagles. He tossed a little short touchdown pass to Keith Jackson. This was what set up the touchdown pass to Keith Jackson in the 2nd quarter. A reverse to Calvin Williams. The rookie got to the 1, and from there, Cunningham was able to flick it over to Jackson for the touchdown. That tied it at 7. But Greg Davis kicked a 53-yard field goal right before the half to make it a 3-point edge. There was Jackson, the intended target, and Brian Jordan helped break it up.
The story of this game has been the defense of Atlanta. They held Philadelphia to 68 total yards in the 1st quarter. Then in that one drive, we just saw Williams with that run for the Eagles in the 1st half. They got 78 yards on that one drive, but that's been it. Been getting a lot of pressure from that guy right there. Tim Green, secondary's been playing extremely well.
Jeff Eagles has had a good afternoon punting. Deion Sanders waits. Under pressure. A short punt. Sanders fields it at his 27 and takes off before he is jarred to the turf by Steve Kaufusi. 10-7 Falcons.
Hard-hitting game, and Deion Sanders was booed on the last punt, but on this one, he takes it up, does a little high step, which gets the crowd into it. Then here comes Rich Kaufusi and just tags him. Says none of that high stepping around here. The punt before that, he called for a fair catch, and he was booed. So this time he tried to run it back and do a little show-stopping.
First down Falcons from their 38, leading by a field goal in the third quarter. This is Mike Rozier running it, and gaining only a yard as Jerome Brown brings them down.
You don't have to respect the run if the quarterback's not able to pass. Miller's just completed 3 of his last 12. He's out of sync. He's out of rhythm. So right now the Eagles load up and stop the run.
The Falcons are 3-6 on the season, while Philadelphia is 5-4, riding a 3-game winning streak. If the playoffs were today, Philadelphia would have a wild card spot. A victory today by the Falcons would actually move them within 1 game of the second wild card spot in the NFC. Second down and 8.
Cecil Gray jumped. Now, was he drawn? That's the question.
Number 71 of the defense. 5 yards. Still second down.
All right, that's the rookie Gray. He wasn't drawn off. Now, Mike Golick is out of the ball game. He's injured. So they bring in the rookie Cecil Gray, who plays both ways, offense and defense. He just gets a little bit anxious and jumps. Again, we go back to the old adage, if you've got an aggressive defense, use an unrhythmic cadence or a long count, force the defense to be disciplined, and he wasn't.
Makes it 2nd and 3 for the Falcons from their 45. Jones and Broussard in the backfield. The rookie Steve Broussard, he'll lose yardage. Jesse Small with the big play. Maybe a loss of 2.
Here comes the pursuit. Now you see him run into the defense. You see Byron Evans there coming down the line. You get the outside guy to force it. And then there's big old number 52, Jesse Small. You don't have to respect anybody. Just run to that football and chase him down if you're playing that defense.
3rd and 5 for Atlanta. This is the red gun formation. The 4 receivers and Miller dropping back, taking the snap out of the shotgun. With pressure, he gets it away, complete for a first down. First down Atlanta in Philadelphia territory. Floyd Dixon with the catch.
Philadelphia committed early this time, and Miller read it right away. Anytime you put this many guys in the box, see all the white jerseys? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You also have guys outside of them, 7, 8. So if you commit that many, you know your receiver's going to be one-on-one. Take that 3-step drop and get it out there quickly. Good read by Miller. Here's Jeff Fisher, the defensive coordinator for the Eagles, put in a couple extra blitz packages for this game.
From under center, 4 receivers in the game. Miller on 1st and 10. Here comes Reggie White. They set up the screen to Rozier. Seth Joyner brings him down near another first, inside of the 40. Rozier playing with cracked ribs from a game against Pittsburgh 2 weeks back.
2 runs, 2 quick 3-step drops and throw, and all of a sudden you've got the screen set up. So you come back, get it out to Rozier. He's got 2 blockers in front of him, picks up pretty good yardage. You know they're going to go to the traps, the draws, and the screens just to keep Philadelphia off balance a little bit.
Big number 90, Mike Golick, returns to the defensive line for Philadelphia. It's actually 2nd down and 1. 2nd and 1 for Atlanta.
Too much time. Delay of game.
Delay of game. Offense. 5 yards. Still second down.
Spotted at the 44 for Jerry Glanville's gang.
We had some fun talking to him this week, didn't we? He's a character.
He really is.
He has fun at this game.
In his first year with the Falcons, his team can still entertain thoughts of going to the playoffs. It sounds a little wild when you're 3-6.
You know, we talked about the aggressiveness of this team and the way that he tries to introduce them to meanness. He's done that, although he's laughing now. But he brought in Evander Holyfield, the heavyweight champ of the world, to talk to his special teams today. Came out just before the game, ran out onto the field. Now the Atlanta bench being warned just to sit back a little bit.
2nd and 6. Red gun time. Complete to Haynes. Where will the forward progress go? They may have enough for the first. Ben Smith brings them down.
They'll move the chains.
Does nothing to change his image, does he? This is earlier in the week. Glanville shooting a public service announcement, riding in on his bike.
Just ask where Jim Nance was. They all pointed up here to the booth.
Glanville took the Houston Oilers to the playoffs the last 4 years. Atlanta's schedule is very favorable after today. They do not play a team with a winning record the final 6 games of the season.
Well, they're 3-1 at home, 2-4 in their final 7 games are here.
On first down, Broussard jammed at the line by Golick, who is back in there.
Mike Golick went out for a while. He was shaken up, comes back in, replaces Cecil Gray. Watch big number 90 now in the white jersey. Oh, that's the bull rush. Just take old Bill Fralick and just push him 2 yards back into the secondary and take Broussard down. Outstanding play by Mike Golick, 5-year veteran out of Notre Dame.
Joyner was in on the hit. Keith Jones in the backfield for Atlanta on 2nd down. 2nd and 12. Hand it off to Jones, right up the middle. Head on with Izell Jenkins at the 32. Jim Nance along with Tim Brant. We're in the Olympic city of Atlanta, Georgia on a beautiful day. Temperature in the upper 60s. Totally clear skies and a 3-point lead for the Falcons. Thanks to Greg Davis's career-long 53-yard field goal right before the half. The lone Falcon touchdown, a 1-yard scamper by Tracy Johnson.
Johnson scored his first NFL touchdown last week, got his second today. You just mentioned he just came into the ball game here for this play.
3rd and 5. Quickly, he fires it complete inside of the 30, near another first. It's Dixon once more. Forward progress will put the football very close to the first down yardage.
Boy, that play was made by Miller, though. He saw Izell Jenkins coming on the blitz, didn't have any time to hesitate, and just unleashed it. Got the big gainer close to the first, about a foot short.
Yeah, they're not even going to measure. They'll bring back out Davis, who was good from 53 right before the half. This will be a 46-yard attempt. Fulhaig on the hold, the punter. Greg Davis drills it, and it's a 6-point lead for the Atlanta Falcons. 2 long-range field goals for that man from the Citadel, Greg Davis, and the Falcons in front. Here's your heavyweight champion of the world, Evander Holyfield, an honorary captain today for the Atlanta Falcons. Kick drives Sanders 2 yards deep. Thomas Sanders across the 10, the 20, into the 29-yard line. A good run back for Thomas Sanders. Now coming up next, the second half of our doubleheader on CBS Sports. Most of you will see Chicago at Denver. The Bears against the struggling Broncos. Plus other action. Some will see Tampa Bay San Fran, Minnesota Seattle, the Cowboys on the coast, and Green Bay at Phoenix. Randall Cunningham and the Eagles down 6 with 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. They pitch it to Sherman. Sherman gets 6 yards. And it's update time. Hold
Wait a
on
minute, ball's loose.
They're whistling the play down. The officials are standing right there pointing to the ground. Sherman fumbled after he was ruled down.
Sure got the attention of the Atlanta sidelines. It's going to be Atlanta football. Here it is again. Ball was loose before he hit the ground. And there he is again. Big old Tim Green picks it up.
Tim Green has been in on a lot of plays, but the officials still, I have not seen an indication. Now they do. It is Atlanta football.
Ball's loose before he hit the ground. No question about it. Case knocked it loose. Green picked it up.
Atlanta will take over at the 35 of Philadelphia.
Buddy Ryan's got to be a little bit concerned because not only is the Atlanta defense playing aggressively and successfully against his offense, but right now they're starting to move the football. In that last scoring drive, Atlanta had 4 runs, 4 passes, and ended up with a field goal. So they're getting a good balance and they're moving the ball, and they're looking now to see where the placement of the ball is. They've already determined that the fumble was recovered by Atlanta, but now where do you place it? All right, now Scott Case will come in and knock it loose. Bang, right there. Ball's loose, no question about the fumble. Now here comes Green. Pick it up. Now is he touched while he's down on the ground? I don't see where he is touched.
Well, I think his body was making contact with Sherman. That's the only thing they could say.
Well, if that's the case, then they'll bring it back. We have had one instant replay today and a reversal on a call.
Well, they never let Green, after he lateraled it back, they never let him finish. Usually Philadelphia is best at forcing the turnover and turnover margin. They led the league in it last year, but
After
now
review by instant replay, the call stands on the field. It is a fumble. The ball was ruled dead at the spot where it now sits. It'll be 1st and 10, Atlanta.
All right, so essentially they're saying he was touched while he was on the ground. So the ball will be placed then at just inside the 36. But you mentioned the Eagles led the league in takeaways a year ago. They're even right now in the giveaway takeaway statistic, but they haven't been generating those turnovers like they did last year.
from the 35 of the Eagles. They'll come right out in the red gun. Inside give to Broussard. And the rookie is run down by Simmons at the 31-yard line. The Bruiser, they call him. First round pick, the 20th selection overall.
Trails only Johnny Johnson of the Cardinals as the best rookie runner with 400 yards. Certainly leads this team. Averages 4 yards a carry. He's only 5'7", but he's 201 pounds. He's been playing with a sore knee.
Second down and 6. Staying with the red gun. Did not see a lot of it in the first half. Joyner coming in, gets it away to Jones. Jones has the first down for Atlanta at the 23.
Miller's back in sync now. They're picking up everything the Eagles are doing. Philadelphia's coming with more blitz packages. They're moving things up. They're running when they should be running, and they're passing when they should be passing. They came with the blitz. Miller read the blitz and went to his Iceman, his safety valve, very quickly for the big gain. Here comes the blitz right now, bottom of your screen. You pick it up and you go to your Iceman, your safety valve right there. So Keith Jones, after he sees the blitz, just releases, picks up the first down.
Rozier, the single back on 1st and 10. Eagles come after him. He lofts the ball toward Dixon. Incomplete. Ben Smith on the coverage again.
Well, they had the rolling pocket, number one, to take the blitz pressure off of Miller. Then he throws a touch pass and tries to fill it in there between the cornerback and the safety. It looks like he got a little bit of short arms. He could feel the footsteps right there. Maybe should have had it. The ball was well thrown, but Dixon got those alligator arms. Two receivers in the same area, though. There had to be a mix-up somewhere. Looks like he caught a shot to the mouth.
I think he not only heard footsteps, I think he took a footstep below the belt and into the helmet.
You know what? If you're going to get hit, though, you might as well make the catch.
Timeout called by Miller. With 1:24 to go in the third quarter, the Falcons leading it by 6. Falcons by 6 and flirting with the end zone again. They've scored 1 touchdown today, that by Tracy Johnson. Look at the time of possession edge to the Falcons.
They've done most of that through the air, too. 164 yards passing, 56 rushing. Miller has used 7 different receivers.
Second down and 10. Out of the backfield, Broussard. Eric Allen hit him. Philadelphia coming off a Monday night victory against the Washington Redskins. It's the second time they played on Monday night this year. The first time they also won a game against Minnesota, coming back from behind to win that game. And then the next week they lost 13-7 coming off of Monday night. That's the identical score we have right now, trailing 13-7.
Jim, that was Broussard's first catch of the afternoon. So now he's gone to 8 receivers. You know, Atlanta has 5 receivers who have caught at least 15 passes, plus the running back Broussard with 20 receptions this year.
4 receivers in the game on 3rd and 5. And back to the right side. Risen has it. Gets up on his feet to pick up the first. Frizzell on the coverage. Falcons will have a new set of downs from the 12.
When you use that many receivers, it keeps the defense from loading up. You go to the red gun, you spread things out, it makes you thin and soft in certain areas. You have to cover man here. They go underneath the Risen. I'm surprised, though, that they did throw that time, because there were 6 defensive backs in the game for Philadelphia. There were only 4 rush men. If that happens, usually in the red gun, you'll go to the run where it's soft in the middle.
Still 12 seconds to go in the third quarter, but the Falcons will not snap it again in the third. We'll move down to the other side of the field. 15 minutes left with the Falcons leading it 13-7. Driving 13-7. Jim Nance along with Tim Brant. Defense has dominated in this football game, and it seems like we hardly saw Randall and the Eagles on offense in the third quarter.
Well, we expected that high-scoring game. It hasn't happened, and you're exactly right. As a matter of fact, Atlanta's offense is protecting its defense. This offense for the Falcons has held the ball 11 minutes and 35 seconds of that third period. They had it almost the entire time. Kept Cunningham off the field.
1st and 10, split backfield. Miller looking to the end zone. Overthrows Haynes.
They're trying to melt as much of that clock as they can. You pointed out they still had 12 seconds left in the third period. They just said, nope, we're going to walk the other end. You take the 12. We don't want Philadelphia to have that near the end of the game. Let's go ahead and just melt it and go.
Chris Miller has not been intercepted today. He had the interception bug the last 2 weeks, having thrown 7 in the Falcons games against Pittsburgh and Chicago. Remember, he threw 3 fourth-quarter interceptions against the Bears last week. 2nd down and 10, back to the red gun. Beating the blitz, they get it to Risen, and he's out of bounds at the 7.
Boy, I'm going to tell you something. Tracy Johnson threw a whale of a block to let Miller have time to throw that ball. It's going to be coming right at you. Watch 43. Boom. Take out the linebacker right now. That's Joyner. That's a great block by Tracy Johnson on the rolling pocket, and he just gets it out to Risen. Hey, after going 3 for 12, Miller now has hit 8 of his last 10.
Johnson back in the backfield. 2nd-year player from Clemson. Plan B free agent, came over from the Oilers. Plan Glanville reunited with him. 3rd and 5. End zone. Incomplete. One-handed attempt by Rison.
Oh, I tell you, he's upset too because he knows he was wide open. Rison came clear. He's the second receiver in. Second receiver is always the most dangerous because he has the most field to work with. He's working against Izell Jenkins and had him beaten to rights. All the ball had to do was get there, but again, Miller was a little bit rushed and forced it and threw it quickly.
Now Davis can make it 9-point lead for Atlanta. This is important. 2-score difference. If he makes from 25, he's good. But a flag is down. There is a flag on the field.
That'll be a first down. Let's see if they run into the kicker. Right there. Well, I don't know. It wasn't flagrant, but it drew the laundry.
Now Jerry
We have
Glanville.
offsides on the defense. That penalty is declined. We have roughing the kicker. That penalty is administered to be 1st and goal.
So they'll take the points off the board and have it 1st and goal.
Absolutely. That's a first down. As soon as that flag comes out and you see that personal foul roughing the kicker, that's a first down right now. They say never take the points back off the board. But right now, Jerry Glanville feels like he's got the Eagles off balance. He wants the first, bring the points off, and go for the big score. Tell you what, I think they do have Buddy a little bit off balance. Not so much Buddy as his defense. They keep going to that red gun. They spread it as wide as you'll ever see in the run and shoot. They actually take it 12 yards from the sidelines, and by stretching you all the way across the field, they're thinning out that defense, and somewhere they're creating air. They're creating a void, and when you do that, it's going to be soft somewhere.
They'll spot the football at the 4. Just inside of the 4. And it's 13-7 Atlanta. I guess when you got Evander Holyfield on your sideline, instead of going for the field goal, you go for the knockout punch. Go for the touchdown.
Hold no punches now.
Uh-oh, here comes Philadelphia. Clyde Simmons drops him at the 12.
Last year he led Philadelphia, 15.5 sacks, only had 2.5 this year. He's been hobbled with an Achilles problem, comes clean that time, and Miller just rolled right to him. I think Clyde got a little bit of a gift that time. Miller came right at him. No question, this defense has been the strength of the club.
Simmons scored a touchdown Monday night against the Redskins as this defense of the Eagles scored twice
and generated the third one, set up the third one.
Now it's 2nd and goal from the 10, we'll call it. Red gun time. To the end zone. Almost intercepted by Frizzell. He scored the other touchdown Monday night.
Look at the blood all over his jersey. You know, they had that big brawl in the preseason. Everybody said this was going to be a brawl, a lot of banging. You see that blood? Here's Rison again, the second receiver in. This is the play they almost hit on a little while ago.
Should have been intercepted.
William knows it too. He's the nickel back. That ball was thrown right at him.
Haynes and Milling to the right. Rison to the left. Along with Collins on 3rd and goal. Quickly to Collins. Incomplete. Coverage by Eric Allen, who wrapped him up right when the football arrived.
Outstanding coverage too. That's why Eric Allen's a Pro Bowler. Stay right on him that time. Knew that he was down in the red zone, knew where the goal line was, knew that he couldn't allow the catch. Made the contact as soon as the ball got there and knocked it loose.
This will be actually a longer field goal attempt than the one they took off the board. 28 yards for Davis.
Still, they ran off more of the clock, and that's important.
13:33 left. He's 2 for 2 today. Davis good again. 16-7 Atlanta. And we'll return to Fulton County Stadium after this message from your local station. You are watching the NFL on CBS.
This is CBS.
Coming up after this one, Chicago at Denver. Most of you will see that game. There's other coverage as well. Tampa Bay at San Francisco. Vikings against the Seahawks. Cowboys and Rams, and Green Bay against Phoenix. Doubleheader day here on CBS. A 9-point lead for the Falcons. Thomas Sanders hesitates, now comes out. A good decision. He's across the 20. And out of bounds near the 35. Thomas Sanders, a good return game today for the Eagles, the former Chicago Bear.
Philadelphia ran only 6 plays in the third quarter. They had the ball only 3.5 minutes. It's going to take them a little bit to warm up here. Long rest.
Byers out to the 40. He had one 33-yard reception in the first half. Keith Byers, long of the season for him. He's the leading receiver for all running backs in the National Football League. 4 catches today.
Today alone, we've seen him at running back. We've seen him in the slot. We've seen him in motion. We've seen him split wide.
It's a gain of 5, setting up second down. With pressure, he gets it away to the open man, Barnett, into Atlanta territory near the 30. Working on Charles Dimry, and a gain of 24.
Came only out with 1 receiver. Everybody else was in tight. Gave Cunningham plenty of time to throw the football, and they're in zone coverage. See Dimry tries to strip him, come up behind Bennett and hit him from behind, and Barnett just held on to him. You know, Cunningham didn't have to do anything. He had plenty of time. Just step up in the pocket and drill it. Well executed play by the Eagles.
He's got plenty of time on the clock, over 12 minutes left, as we see Tim Green jump across.
Encroachment, number 99 in the defense. 5 yards, still first down.
Jerry Austin, our referee today. Green's had a big second half for the Falcons.
Green's telling him too. He says, hey, you blew it. Jerry, you blew it. He said, they moved. When they move, I can come.
1st and 5 from the 26. Going for the end zone and incomplete. He went back to Barnett.
Tim Green still really hot about that last play. Now he's going up against Bruce Colley. Well, I tell you what, Alexander and Colley teamed up on him, got up in his face mask. Bruce Colley started in the Super Bowl last year. He was a 49ers guard. Came in because Mike Chad injured that shoulder Monday night against the Redskins.
2nd down and 5. Williams in motion. Pitch setting up a reverse. No, a fake. And a run by Sherman near the first down.
Remember how they were overrunning the play on defense for Atlanta in that first half? Now everybody is still trying to be aggressive, but they're also staying disciplined. They're staying at home, watching for the cutbacks. Everybody on the backside stayed there. Everybody on the right side continued their pursuit, and they shut down a pretty good play, and they're a yard shy of the first.
Sold out Fulton County Stadium. They've sold out all the home games this year, and Atlanta leads it in the 4th by 9. 11 minutes to go. Philadelphia is threatening. 3rd and less than a yard. first down with a flag down on the field.
Well, it's the same long count with an unusual cadence.
That got him.
Offsides, defense, 5 yards, first down.
It has several times today because the defense is so aggressive. They're coached that way by Glanville. And so if you've got an aggressive defense, use that long cadence, force them to be disciplined.
Take the 5 yards, which will bring it to the 17.
Tamburello started to come in, and Cunningham told him to go back out.
Williams to the right, Barnett to the left. Byers lined up as a tight end on the left side. Randall keeps his footing, and a touchdown to Keith Jackson. 17 yards for a play that almost never unfolded.
Well, Randall tripped coming out from underneath the center. Alexander snapped him the ball, and he almost tripped right away. Watch this. Here's the snap. Watch Randall. Gets his foot caught. Now all of a sudden he looks up and he sees, hey, my tight end's right on John Rady, 59, and Rady can't stay with him. Boom, get it to him. Jordan, the free safety, couldn't help out either. Once he got by Rady, here comes Jordan. Straight down the middle.
Second touchdown today for Keith Jackson. And Ruzek good on the extra point. The Eagles are within 2. 10:41 left. It's warming up in Atlanta. 16-14 Falcons.
Time of possession still belongs to Atlanta, but Philadelphia with 2 big drives. That last one for the scoring touchdown, 5 plays, 65 yards. Their other touchdown went 78 yards. So they've done all theirs on 2 big drives, while Atlanta's been keeping them off the field with the time of possession.
Quick drives, too. 5 plays, and the earlier one was a 4-play drive. And they're within 2. Ruzek's kick will sail out of bounds. Philadelphia will start or bring its defense out to the 35-yard line, and the Falcons are ready to go with the 2-point lead.
Giants continue to roll. Now we'll watch this game with great interest, playing the Eagles next week.
George Thomas to the near side. 4 receivers in the game for the Falcons. Broussard hit by Joyner. Seth Joyner.
See, the fans are booing that play because they're running it. But the thing is, Miller comes up to the line of scrimmage and he sees there's only 5 guys right there in front of him. Actually, there's only 4. As you look here, he's looking 1 read, 2 read, 3 read. This guy may come, and this guy may come. All right, let's go ahead and run it because everybody else is spread out in the middle soft. Look right down the pipe there. It's wide open. You get some good blocking right here on the trap play and things could open. Unfortunately for the Falcons, the Eagles played it extremely well and Seth Joyner just closed it down. But it was a great read by Miller. That's what he's supposed to do out of that red gun formation, and the crowd didn't understand it.
Jamie Dukes, the starting center, will come to the sideline shaken up. And Mike Ruther will replace him.
Put the 25-second clock at 25, please. Thank you.
Tracy Johnson at the last second coming in for Rozier. Let's check the exchange between center and quarterback. With the unexpected substitution. Second down. And 9 to go. He did fumble the exchange. It's picked up by Jerome Brown. Philadelphia football at the 30.
Here we go. two teams went after it in preseason. That's been well documented. Talking to the coaches before the game for Philadelphia, they told all their players specifically, keep your emotions intact. That's how they got us in the preseason. We lost control. Don't do that here. Here's Ruther, the new center, gets it up, and Miller's not used to it, and ball's on the ground.
Jerome Brown just reaches down for it. And Ruther, the new center, falls on top of him at the 30. Now the Eagles at the 30, going for the lead. Sherman, the single back. Play action fake to him. Right away, striking to Williams. Touchdown, Philadelphia. First catch of the day for rookie Calvin Williams, and it goes for a 30-yard touchdown.
Cunningham, play action, goes to the backside. Now there is pressure coming there, so he pulls up, but right away sees Williams. And Williams right away has a step on Case, and they come back just that quickly. Dragged him all the way across. Look at this. Comes from the right side, runs the post. It's a clear out from his friend Barnett. Touchdown.
Ruzick nails the extra point. 21-16. Eagles soaring in the fourth. 2 touchdowns in the final quarter to take the lead. Cunningham throwing his 3rd touchdown pass of the day. The 6 shooters come out as he hits for the 6-pointer with Calvin Williams. Still 9:40 left in the game. 21-16. Eagles. 2 touchdowns in 58 seconds. Broussard on the run back. And Dukes returns. He was out 1 play, and there was a fumble on the exchange between center and quarterback.
How about that little scenario for Philadelphia? Touchdown, kickoff, boom, fumble recovery, come right back, touchdown again.
NFC East, the Giants, the Eagles' opponent next week. A shutout victory today in Washington, up 2 scores, 2 touchdowns on the Saints in the 4th. Philadelphia and Washington, identical marks coming in.
Although Washington has the advantage in a wild card slot because of their success against conference teams, better than Philadelphia's.
Miller is flanked by Tracy Johnson in the red gun. Oh, dangerous pass intended for Rison. Byron Evans, number 56, was right there.
You know, the basis of this run and shoot attack is read and react. Now the quarterback has to read the defense, then the snap comes, and the receivers have to read what the defense is doing to them and adjust accordingly. And the quarterback and receiver have to be on the same page. That was a terrible read that time by Miller.
3 receivers to the left on 2nd and 10. Tries to jam it across the middle for James Milling, and Izell Jenkins was there to defend.
Izell Jenkins is having a fine afternoon. He's had an ankle and hamstring problem the last few weeks. Today he's playing aggressively. He was not fooled by this at all. Comes over and times it and bats it down. You know, this offense is basically so simple. You know how it came about. Tiger Ellison, a high school coach, was 0-5. He went out, stopped by a park one day and saw kids. They were just playing football, street football. The guy would go out, play him outside, he'd throw it in. The guy played him on the inside, he'd throw it out.
3rd down, 10. Going deep. Catch is made by Thomas. "50 yards to the Philadelphia 23. Only his 4th catch in the NFL, George Thomas.
Beats Eric Allen on this play. You know what's unique about this? Here's a guy that caught passes from Randall Cunningham at UNLV. They were teammates. Now he comes up here. He's playing against Philadelphia. Makes a big play.
50-yard gain. 1st and 10 from the 23. Johnson the single back. Here comes the heat. Wide open. Gets it away. Touchdown, Atlanta. Andre Rison. Rison's 10th touchdown as Wes Hopkins came barreling down. Chris Miller.
Pass under pressure. Breakdown in the secondary.
Point after is good by Greg Davis.
William Frizzell never got in the coverage, and Rison just took it down the post. There's Frizzell, 33, gets turned around. Rison's all by himself. There's nobody within 12 yards of Andre Rison, but it was this guy under the heat that released it just in time.
And on the touchdown pass from Chris Miller, and 4th quarter fireworks at Fulton County Stadium.
Says Rison to the occasion. 21 points we've had in 3 minutes and 11 seconds.
Sanders takes it 2 yards deep. Kenny Jackson says, stay right there. We'll bring it out to the 20. And we'll bring on football Thanksgiving Day on CBS starting at 3:30 Eastern with the NFL today. That'll be followed by the renewal of a classic Thanksgiving Day game. Remember the Redskins and Cowboys when Clint Longley threw the touchdown to Drew Pearson to beat him 24-23. They'll play in Dallas, Texas Stadium on Thursday.
There's the scoring drive for Atlanta. Miller's 16th touchdown pass of the year. That equals exactly what he did in 1989, so he's ahead of his pace.
Which means it ties his career best in a season, 16 touchdown passes. Cunningham gets it away somehow to Byers. Rady and Case take him out after an 8-yard gain.
Watch this, little razzle-dazzle, put a new wrinkle in. Little play action, boom. That just kind of get it out there with a little shuffle pass on your way back down. But Tuggle misses a tackle here. If he wraps him up, there's no gain on it. That's the strength of Byers right there.
All 3 of his touchdown passes today on 1st down. Byers on 2nd and short has the 1st down for the Eagles. We're under 8 minutes to go. 7:40. Scoreless 1st quarter. Atlanta led 10-7 at the half. Increased it to 16-7 at one point before the Eagles scored 2 touchdowns in less than a minute to take the lead. But back came the Falcons to regain control. 1st and 10. Keith Sherman. Hit by Brian Jordan coming up from strong safety with help from Torrey Epps.
You know, you can just feel both sides now starting to turn it up another notch. Robert Lyles on the outside had flood control that time, containment. He just came up and met the blocker, forced him, shut him down, and let the pursuit come and help him out.
In that Redskins game today, Art Monk reached 700 career receptions, the 3rd player in NFL history to do that, joining Charlie Joyner and, of course, Steve Largent. Case on the tackle as they ride him down at the 40. Keith Jackson. Set up 3rd and about 3 to go for Philadelphia. Keith Jackson is still down after making the catch.
Talk about Art Monk. He played some running back up there at Syracuse. Came down to Washington. They moved him to a wide receiver. And he's coached by Charlie Taylor, who was a running back in college as well. Came to Washington, moved to the outside, became a Hall of Famer.
It took 3 guys to bring down Keith Jackson. And he fell on the football. I'm going to guess by the way they were attending to him that he may have had the wind knocked out of him. He has 4 catches today, 2 of them for touchdowns. And again, we'll remind you, we've got doubleheader action coming your way. Chicago at Denver to most of the nation. Others will see regional coverage of local interest. Jackson is up and appears he'll be back.
Jackson 6'2", 250 pounds. I tell you that only as a matter of reference because the guys he was carrying, he had Jordan on his back. Jordan's about 198. He had Case 188. He had Mitchell 180 pounds. Dragged him an extra 5 yards.
3rd down and 2 to go. Staying in the pocket. Now he'll run and he'll be sacked. Robert Lyles and Mike Gann.
The 3rd sack of the day for Atlanta. Cunningham's now been sacked 34 times this year. It's an awful lot, but he'll pull it down and try to run, and that's the reason for the high sack exchange. But great pressure that time by the Atlanta defensive front.
Feagles will punt with 5:40 remaining. A 2-point Atlanta lead. Sanders calls for the fair catch at the 22. He wanted a little interference there. Word from the Eagles bench is indeed he had the wind knocked out of him, Keith Jackson, and he will return. That's if Philadelphia gets the football back. 5:27 left. Philadelphia has 3 timeouts left. Atlanta 2. Part of your Thanksgiving weekend, college football action in the classic rivalry between Nebraska and Oklahoma. From Norman, we'll be there Friday, 2:30 Eastern time. Nebraska is headed to the Citrus Bowl to take on Georgia Tech. And for Oklahoma, this will be like a bowl game since they're not eligible for one this year. Rozier bangs heads with that defensive line of Philadelphia, including Byron Evans, middle linebacker.
Now it's Rozier that's shaken up. You could hear that hit all the way up here.
Speaking of Oklahoma, Nebraska, of course, this guy won a Heisman Trophy for the Cornhuskers in 1983. Playing with cracked ribs from a game 2 weeks ago against the Steelers, Mike Rozier.
Well, both the running backs are banged up. Rozier with the sore ribs and Broussard with a sore knee.
Jerry Glanville's Falcons 3-1 at home. One of these days, they're hoping real soon they've got to get this road jinx over with. They've lost 15 in a row on the road, the franchise. 3-1 again here at home.
One thing about Atlanta and Philadelphia, though, whether it's on the road or at home, it's been a good series. Each club has won 7, 1 tie. Last year, 27-24 Falcons at the Vet.
I remember these two meeting in a wild card game back in the late 70s. Dick Vermeil was coaching the Eagles. 2nd down and 9. Tracy Johnson. Boy, run down by a bunch of defenders, including Wes Hopkins. It'll set up a passing situation. 4:40 left and the clock is running.
Fans are wondering why he's running here. He's 18 of 36, 259 yards. That's where most of the successes come. That's how they've been able to eat up the clock, by getting first downs through the air. He's thrown to 9 different receivers, but the last 2 times he's run the football.
3rd down and 8. 4 receivers in the game. Red gun. Tracy Johnson flanked alongside Chris Miller. Flag is down as they complete it to Milling. Milling has a first down, but will have to wait on the penalty.
They're going to call holding against Atlanta.
Holding, number 79 of the offense, 10 yards. Repeat, 3rd down.
That'll also mean, should they not convert on 3rd down, Atlanta will be punting from deep in its own territory, setting up the Eagles in good shape. 3:57 left.
8th penalty, 41 yards against the Falcons.
For Atlanta, leading 23-21. 3:57 left. Complete, then dropped. The ball goes out of bounds. Keith Jones on the reception. It was stripped loose by Seth Joyner. It'll be a punting situation for the Falcons.
That's the key, Jim. It wasn't dropped, it was stripped. Joyner comes after the completion. Watch him. Here comes 59. Watch the right arm go up. Boom. Knock it right out of there. Then it hit his foot, though, and it was kicked out of bounds. So the ball remains in Atlanta possession so they can punt it away. Otherwise, the Eagles could have gotten it right there.
They're going to review it upstairs, I'm sure, to make sure in their minds that Keith Jones had possession of the football.
Well, again, the key is, did you have it long enough to make a football move, to do something with it? Did you have control of the football? Control is a key.
It's a 10-yard decision for the Falcons, because if they rule it an incompletion, they'll be backing up the football.
See, I think he's got the football. I think it's just knocked loose.
It's ruled incomplete. They'll spot the football at the 14.
Play stands, I'm sure.
After review of instant replay, the call stands. Completed pass, fumble out of bounds. 4th down.
The Eagles about to get the football back. Fulhaig holds on to the snap. A short punt. Not a good one at all. Wilkins downs it at the 47.
You know, he bobbled that snap, and it took him out of his rhythm. That is not a good punt.
29 yards here at Fulton County Stadium. Jim Nance along with Tim Brant. It's been a wild 4th quarter. 13-7. Atlanta was leading going into the 4th. And then after a Greg Davis field goal gave him a 9-point lead. Randall Cunningham threw 2 touchdowns in a 58-second span to give Philadelphia the lead. Back came Atlanta on a touchdown pass to Andre Rison to give us this score of 23-21. Eagles have all 3 timeouts left with 3:26 remaining. Down 2. To Byers into Atlanta territory at the 48. Ridden out by Elbert Shelley. Byers hobbling after the reception, his 6th of the day. He'll stay in the game.
Good high percentage safe pass. You've got the lead and the clock in your favor. You've got excellent field position in all your timeouts.
23-21 Atlanta.
Down catch made by Calvin Williams. Again, it's a good safe pass, Jim. You know you can take the lead. You know you've got good field position. You want to just melt that clock so that Atlanta doesn't get the ball back, so that when you score, you win, it's over.
Here's the man that may decide this one, Roger Ruzek. Right now, he's open for a Philadelphia touchdown.
You're probably right.
Randall Cunningham has thrown 3 touchdowns today, 2 to Keith Jackson, and the last one to Calvin Williams. He's hit on his last 6 passes. You are looking at Rich Kotite, the offensive coordinator for Philadelphia. Rolling on first down, incomplete, intended for Sherman. Buddy Ryan's attack against Washington on Monday night was really all Heath Sherman. He carried the football 35 times against the Redskins, tying a Steve Van Buren record, Philadelphia record. But today, 10 carries, 28 yards for Sherman. 2nd and 10, 2:27 on the clock. Safe pass again. Byers makes a nice move that'll pick up the first. He takes out a couple of photographers.
Boy, that's a great read by Cunningham. As you see that Byers is slow getting up. They went to man coverage. They were bringing a lot of heat from both sides and the middle. And watch Cunningham will read it. Here comes the heat. They're playing games in the middle. 3 steps and just gets it out to Byers quickly.
He made the move. Made the move to get away from Roland Mitchell.
And Rady gave him that extra shove, and it just took him right into the guy on the sidelines there. Hardest that guy's been hitting years.
First down from the 29. Sherman banging heads and gaining maybe a yard. Kept getting hit, and Brian Jordan held on to him by the knees. That'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. Roger Ruzek will continue to visualize the game-winning field goal that he may have to attempt. Others will see the Bucs against the 49ers, who will attempt to tie the longest winning streak ever. Minnesota, Seattle, plus other coverage. Cowboys at the Rams. Green Bay at Phoenix. 2nd down and 10. Philadelphia down 2 with 2 minutes left. Cunningham gets it away. Almost intercepted by Sanders. How about Randall Cunningham staying in the pocket as they were crashing in on him? Got the pass away to Barnett.
Showed like almost an 8-man front, 2 linebackers and then a free safety, and then here comes Sanders in man coverage. Almost has the pick, goes as high as he can just to knock it away. I'll tell you what, Barnett still almost got it on the replay. Cunningham's reaction, he sees Sanders, knocks it, and then Barnett almost gets it on the rebound.
3rd and 10. Should they fail to pick up the first on an incompletion, it would bring Ruzek out for a 46-yarder. More pressure. Incomplete to Byers.
Had to hurry it up because Gann was coming.
Eagles will hold. David Alexander will snap it back. Roger Ruzek, 46-yard attempt to give Philadelphia a 1-point lead. Yes! Season-long field goal for Roger Ruzek, and Philadelphia has a 1-point edge on Atlanta.
Tell you what, all these folks in Atlanta too are going to be thinking back about that fumble that occurred when Dukes went out and Ruther came in. No chance to warm up. No chance to practice any exchange. Here's the field goal again, 46-yarder. Watch the reaction. Yes, sir. Straight down the pipe. I think Buddy Ryan feels relieved, too. Look at him on the sidelines. Says that's just the way you're supposed to win football games. But there's still 1:45 left. That's the one thing he wasn't able to do, is melt more clock. Atlanta has 2 timeouts, 1:45 remaining in the ball game, and all they need is a field goal.
Vander Holyfield, the honorary captain today, designated by Jerry Glanville, was right in that massive team huddle for the Falcons.
Sanders is pumped. He needs a big one here. We still have plenty of time left. Nobody leaving this park.
Eagles after their 4th straight win, if they can hold on. Broussard takes it away from Dion. Hove tackles him at the 16.
Dion wanted that ball, drifted over, wanted to get it away from Broussard. Broussard said, no way, I'm taking it, and I'm jamming it right back up and trying to get back to the 20.
Now Chris Miller got some heat here locally the last 2 weeks with 7 interceptions. 3 coming in the 4th quarter against the Bears. Now he can put all of that to rest on a final 2-minute drive. 1:41 on the clock, trailing by a point. Red gun formation. Oh, that was a dangerous throw to Milling.
Miller took a lick, too, right at the end of it.
He is down on the field. He has not gotten up.
Watch this. He looked off his first receiver, came back, finally finds Milling, but there's the hit by Clyde Simmons. And just pile drive him right into the turf, and he's hurt seriously.
Right into the ribs, and Scott Campbell loosens up. He will have to come in relief and bring the Falcons back. Chris Miller is still getting help on the field.
That's important too, Jim. Not only do you lose your starting quarterback here after he's had a big day and involved so many people in the offense using 9 different receivers, but also they're charged with a timeout here because it happens within the last 2 minutes of the game. So now Atlanta has only 1 timeout. Now Davis did hit a 53-yard field goal earlier today, so they need to get all the way up to the 36 to give him a 53-yard attempt. So they've got to move here with 1 timeout. Campbell comes in without really a long warm-up, and they finally get Miller up.
Scott Campbell will come in. 1:36 to work with and 1 timeout. He replaced an injured Chris Miller in the 4th quarter in Week 5 against San Francisco and completed 9 passes in the final quarter against the Niners, 1 for a touchdown. That was that wild 45-35 shootout that the Niners won. After a couple of warm-ups, incomplete. Milling could have had it. It'll bring up 3rd and 10. When Campbell got into the game against the 49ers a few weeks back, replacing the injured Miller, it was his first regular season action in 3 years. His first pass attempts in the NFL in 3 years. He was out all of last season with a knee injury.
Stops the clock with 1:30 remaining in the game. He's got 2 passes left to get at least 10 yards here. They've got to get a first down.
over the head of George Thomas, who caught a 50-yarder earlier in this quarter. Down to 4th and 10 to go. 1:25 on the clock. Glanville's Falcons in danger of dropping to 3-7 on the year.
A couple of things to keep in mind if you're the defense. Number one, they'll try to fly you deep and come underneath because they need 10 yards. Also, Steve Broussard is an outstanding receiver. He's got 23 for the year coming out of the backfield.
4th and 10. Going long, and Philadelphia will get the football back. 2 straight long routes to George Thomas.
Tell you something, too. Thomas had a couple of steps. The ball was just overthrown because Campbell obviously didn't have much time to warm up, but he had him out there.
Tonight on CBS, 60 Minutes, Murder, She Wrote, and the CBS Sunday movie Moonstruck. Philadelphia striking with 17 points in the 4th quarter. Atlanta can only stop it once. Only 1 timeout left for the Falcons. Coordinating producer of the NFL on CBS, Charles H. Milton III, and Eddie Gorin. And our thanks go out to our producer today, Stephen H. Shear. Directed by Robert A. Fishman. Well, a lot of initials, Tim. What's yours?
F.
The NFL Today was produced by Eric Mann and directed by Duke Struck. Senior producer of CBS Sports is David Winter, and the executive producer of CBS Sports is Ted Shaker. Atlanta has used its last timeout with 1:14 remaining. And the Eagles about to win their 4th straight game and improve to 6-4 on the season.
Well, Buddy Ryan felt very confident that they were headed to the playoffs. He said that even when they went 1-3. He said, we'll come around, we'll make the playoffs, and obviously they've gotten hot at the right time.
You know what the NFC East will look like now? Of course, you got the Giants without a loss, and the Redskins and Eagles still with identical marks of 6-4.
Of course, Washington and Philadelphia split. Washington's been stronger within the conference.
Next week, the Giants against Philadelphia at the Vet. And then Buddy Ryan's bunch will take on 2 AFC East teams. In fact, the 2 leaders, Buffalo and Miami, on the road. So the next 3 weeks, their opponents have a record 26-2. That will finish it off. A 4th quarter blitz by Philadelphia and Randall Cunningham. He fires 3 touchdowns on the game. Roger Ruzek nails the winning field goal. 46-yard field goal by Ruzek, the difference. So for Tim Brant, this is Jim Nance saying so long from Fulton County Stadium, where the final score is Philadelphia 24, the Atlanta Falcons 23. CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League will continue after these words from your local station.